Morgan Foster, and I are pretty excited to be sharing this with you. It's something that we've been working on for a while, just as a thought of like, hey, what does it really look like to be at home all the time? You're working at home, you're working out at home, you're eating at home, you're playing at home, you're staying within those confines. So what does that, kind of look like, and how do we remain productive, but also remain in line with our goals? That's, a really big focus right now, is we've got a lot to do and change and focus on stuff, but we're at home, we've changed our environment, we've changed our norm, and we're adjusting to this new norm. So we're gonna just go ahead and get rolling. If you guys do have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A section or the chat. We're gonna be checking those regularly as we go. So I just wanna make sure everyone can see my screen. So we should be good to go. All right. All right, so this is just kind of where we're gonna start. We've got 6 points that we're gonna be touching on. So who we are as EXOS and our partnership with Monument Health, our current situation, both as EXOS and as Monument Health Sports Performance Institute, how we're working on staying in a routine, working from home, continuing to move, and some nutrition strategies. Who we are. So I am Samantha. I am the asset manager with the Monument Health Sports Performance Institute powered by EXOS. I have been here for roughly a year now. I have 10 plus years of fitness experience, everything from teaching group exercise classes to personal training to managing and operating facilities. My role as asset manager is to create community, to develop a strong focus within that community that supports each other and brings people together, particularly using the EXOS methodology of training, which focuses on fitness, nutrition, movement, and mindset. Couple things about me. I have a 3-month-old son, so I'm learning my new norm as a new mom and trying to figure out like how you do all the things, right? How do we work 40 hours a week? How are we home and getting everything done? How are we working out? How do we eat healthy? Like those are all those things that, you're trying to do everything all at one time and figure that out. So my favorite workouts are cycle and our metabolic days. Activities, boating, hiking, anything to do with our family and my puppy. And then for my favorite snack is anything with peanut butter. You can put peanut butter on it, I'm probably in. So, and then we've got Morgan.
Hi, so I'm Morgan. I'm the performance manager here at the Sports Performance Institute. I started probably in July 2019, so a little less than a year, a little after Sam did. My main goal here is to just oversee the performance of everything we do, whether that's the adult, the sports performance side, yoga as cycle as well, and then just how our members are enjoying our program and what we can sort of do better. My background is a little bit of a mix. I've spent some time in the private sector down in Orlando, Florida, but my last stint was actually at the University of Virginia working solely with basketball. So I'm sort of glad to be back in the private sector and sort of helping everyone upgrade their life. My favorite activities are probably strength training, which has obviously been pretty difficult. It's been pretty difficult with everything going on. Obviously, I can't access a gym, so I've actually gone to Kin Stretch, which is a type of stretching as well as getting some strength and in ranges. My favorite activities are snowboarding and then hiking with my dog. And then I think my favorite go-to snack has to be dates and cheese.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about EXOS and who we are. EXOS is the leader in human performance. We have been doing this for over 20 years. We were founded in 1999 as Athletes Performance by our president and founder, Mark Verstegen. In the last 20 years, a lot has happened. We are more than 3,000 team members. We focus and work with 1.2 million people every day. We are throughout the world. We'll show you, we have 400 sites that we train at, really worldwide. We train with the most elite athletes, and we've learned a lot by doing that. We've developed our own training methodology. We have, developed strategies to take everybody's performance to the next level, whatever the next level is for you. It is a very personalized approach to training within a group setting. So as I mentioned, we created our own methodology. It focuses on the 4 pillars of performance. It is mindset, nutrition, movement, and recovery. It is in something that we do every day. It is something that Morgan and I live every day, but it's also what we share with you as we go through this presentation. It's focusing on having your mindset right, having a gratitude mindset, being thankful, being positive, knowing that bad days happen, but we can grow from them. Nutrition, focusing on that 80-20, right? We know that if we can eat healthy 80% of the time, and then 20% we maybe feed our soul a little bit differently, we have that French fry, it's going to create some balance. We're going to be okay with it. It's movement. It's focusing on just moving our bodies 30 to 60 minutes every day, whatever that looks like for us. And then recovery. Your recovery is crucial to all other aspects. When you're hungry, when you're really tired, do you tend to eat more? When you're really tired, is your mindset right? When you're tired or you're fatigued, where's your movement at? It all comes back to each other in this. So as EXOS, our culture is pretty simple, and we do simple things savagely well. It's what we focus on every day. We sweat excellence. We are humble. We ask for help. We are open-minded and ready to take on new challenges. We work and live on the bleeding edge, and we are respectful of everybody's time. We know that if you're coming into the gym or you're at home working out, it is a commitment, and we want to honor that commitment that you're making with your time. So our current situation as EXOS, we have, like as mentioned, 400 sites worldwide. We have closed all 400 of our facilities. So that includes all of our legacy facilities, our corporate works facilities, our powered bys, and our community sites. EXOS globally is kind of a cool thing that they did, and we just launched this, so it's exciting. Our CEO and Sarah and Mark, our founder, have said that they're not taking this pandemic lying down, and neither should you. There's never a better time to get active, unwind, eat well, and have some fun with the people you live with. Right? So they created EXOS at home with our performance team. So what you're getting every day are live streamed videos, tips of the days, personal recommendations, blogs, and then you're going to get a DIY weekly plan to help create it. So you'll see like there's 30-minute body weight, metabolic workouts, yoga flow, mindset pieces, daily refreshes. So they've been kind of fun to experience, and then to also train with trainers that train the most elite athletes. I mean, these are strength and conditioning coaches that work with those athletes that are, getting ready for the NFL, that are going to the Olympics, that are NBA stars, MLB stars, hockey athletes. Like they're training the most elite, and so it's kind of fun that they're going to be training us via EXOS at home. Here at the Monument Health Sports Performance Institute, powered by EXOS, we are doing several different things, and it's ever growing and evolving. So our members are staying on track with that program that we create. They get a daily program emailed to them. There's going to be daily challenges on social, and we truly encourage you to participate in them. They're going to focus on that mindset, movement, recovery and nutrition. We have live events and workouts. So there's every morning a body weight workout that goes out to you via our Facebook, and then live events every Wednesday. And then we're just going to continue to help the community, both within the gym as members and then outside in the Rapid City community, because there's a lot that can happen when we move a little bit, when we eat a little bit better. We just are able to take care of ourselves in that capacity. So let's go ahead and talk about staying in a routine.
All right, so we all know that staying in a routine can be very difficult for us, right? It's obvious, but I want you to sort of shift this mindset that we have, right? We all already have this routine of some sort. I wake up every morning, I take my dog for a walk, I shower, I go to work. That is my routine. So we want to start building off of our current habits. So from there, right, like I need to look at what I currently do, and that's going to help me go further with things. So we're also going to stay accountable. So what is needed to keep yourself accountable? What do I need? Do I need Sam to help me stay accountable with coming to work on time every day? Do I need someone else in my family to help make sure that I'm working out every day? How are we staying accountable? And then we want to find what motivates you as a person. Everyone's going to have a different motivation. So you need to build off of that motivation, and then you're going to build your routine off that motivation. For me, it's working out. So the first thing I do in the morning is I work out, and that's going to build my routine throughout the day. So then to continue with our routine and just make sure everything, we want to prioritize different things, right? A lot of times, especially right now, with family working at home, your kids running around, whatever it is, we need to make sure that we're prioritizing what's the most important thing. So we have 4 boxes that we're going to go through: important, urgent, important, less urgent, less important, urgent, and then less important, less urgent. So we want to look at this with every task that we have, and we're going to put our first few in the important, urgent. So that's going to be my do first, whatever that is, whether it's I have to send this email out first, and then I go on to my next thing, which is important, less urgent. So I'm going to start scheduling those things. So where in the day do I want to do those? And then I have less important, urgent. I can delegate some of that stuff, right? I don't always have to do it on my own, whether that's helping someone. Maybe I need someone to help me meal prep, or I need one of my coworkers to do this task because it's important in some ways, but it's not as important for me to do it. And then less important, less urgent, don't do it. And then working from home.
So a couple of best practices for you, right? Maintain your regular hours in the best sense that you can. We know that everything is going to change day by day. Maybe you get up at 6 a.m. and you start working at 7 and you take a break. Just maintain whatever it is the best you can in your regular hours. Create your morning routine. Keep your morning routine as consistent as you can as when you leave to go into the office. Wake up within half an hour to an hour of your normal time, and then shift everything down from that. Set ground rules with people in your space. Guys, this is a big one. So a lot of times where you're working from home and your attention can shift if you can't necessarily close a door. So set some ground rules, have expectations that, hey, this is my, and I like to use a power hour. So this is my power hour. I'm turning my headphones on. You cannot bug me during this time. If you do have a door, put a note on the door. I think I saw something on Facebook that was like, Mom is in a meeting. Do these things answer your questions? And it's like, I don't know what we're having for dinner. Yes, a piece of fruit. No, you can't go play. And there was something else. And I just thought like that was perfect, right? Like, unless the house is burning down, don't come get me during this 1 hour of time. Schedule your breaks. I still schedule my lunch. I still schedule when I'm going to take a walk break. Typically after I've completed one of my top 5 for the day, that's when I schedule a quick little break. Leave home. By leave home, we mean walk outside of your home and sit outside for a little bit. I wouldn't suggest going anywhere else at this time. If you can, keep a dedicated office space. Decide where you're going to office for the week. Maybe that's going to change so that you feel like you're on a little bit of a vacation. I don't know. So whether it's, you know, your coffee table or your kitchen table or your office or your patio for the day, that's great. Spend some time socializing with your colleagues. We have set up for us a meeting every Monday and Wednesday. That's kind of like an update, but it's also a time for us to kind of just catch up and remember why we like working with each other. It's super important. We do it on a bigger scale. So we are part of a 11 facility team around the US. We spend twice a week kind of taking some time and socializing with them. We still have an agenda, we still have things to get through, but we absolutely take the first couple minutes and socialize with our teammates. Really focus on your communication. You're not in the office every day. They're not seeing what you're doing on a whiteboard or whatever. So just communicate using the technology that you best can and end your day with a routine. It's so easy, and I am just as guilty of it as anybody. But to like, hey, I'm done working for the day. I'm going to turn my computer off. I'm going to go home, and not flipping it back open at 8 o'clock at night. So helpful tips, I kind of talked about the top 5. This is my probably most crucial tip and for completion in general. So I do a top 5 for the week that every day is going to hit a top 5. And then within each day has a top 5 list, right? So I'm never really working on more than 6 tasks a day, okay? And that leads you right into that power hour. So I break it up and I try to do about 2 to 3 power hours a day. And that's really an hour, like I said, where I turn everything else off and I focus on something. So whether it's, hey, hour 1 is going to be my top 2 things that have to get done, my urgent and important top 2 things. And they each need half an hour of my undivided attention. And we break it down. And then when the timer goes off at 30 minutes, I have to put that task away and move on to the next one. Sometimes I do them in 15-minute segments. Sometimes I do them in 10. So it kind of just depends on how intense the task is going to be. Get up and take a walk during your break. Get up, move outside, take a 10, 15-minute break, and just get a little movement. And there's tons of perks from working from home, guys. So take advantage of those. You know, throw a load of laundry in. Make yourself a lunch that maybe you wouldn't normally have time for. Enjoy another cup of really good coffee. Take advantage of that. Maybe it's only dressing up from the top up. I don't know what you think is an advantage of working from home, but take advantage of them. Use that technology to connect, right? So whether it is Zoom or Facebook or, you know, FaceTime, use that technology to connect. We've been doing that a lot lately. I mean, our marketing team is also not within our building. And so there's been several times that I just miss them. So I will FaceTime her and be like, I just really missed your face and talking to you one-on-one, right? Be positive about what is going on. Be super grateful. It's, you know, when you go in and you have that mindset of, I get to do this today, as opposed to I have to do this today, it can change everything. So just changing that one word from I have to I get to is a huge mindset change. So really focus on that. And then leave your office, right? Leave your office for the day. Pack up your stuff, put it away, and be done for the evening. At some point, you have to stop. So those are our tips for getting through this work from home time.
So continue to move, right? everything's closed right now. So how do we continue to move? We find struggles with this from a day-to-day when the gym's open. So we're going to sort of look at this and how we can continue to move at home. So what are some common barriers that we have? The two main ones are going to be time and motivation. It's hard to find time, right? You're starting to run from place to place. I have to work. Now I'm working from home. Now I feel like I need to almost work more to prove to my boss that I am able to work from home. And motivation. I no longer have a gym to go to. What is my motivation? What is my community? No one's holding me accountable anymore because I don't have those things. So we want to reframe time, right? Sam mentioned it earlier, like being fit doesn't take as long as you think. We need to make sure that we can understand, like, I don't need an hour to get fit. It can be short little bits of exercise. And this can also help from working from home just to help boost creativity. All right. Like if I'm sitting at a desk for 3 hours, I just need to get up and move, whatever that is. And then we need to make sure we protect it, right? We need to make sure that we are creating a calendar for ourselves and making sure that this is our time. So I look for me on Sunday and I block out what's called my personal time. That's on my work calendar. No one can schedule a meeting during that time, whether it's a 15-minute session or an hour session, it doesn't matter. Block that time off on your calendar. And then make sure you're not forcing it into your day. If I look at my day and I see that I have tons of meetings that day, I'm not going to force it. It's not worth it. It's going to stress me out more than anything else. So that day is just going to be my off day to recover, maybe do some meditation, those kind of things instead. And then enlist help of others, right? Especially right now, you have family at home. So have them help you get involved with these things, as well as friends, right? Just because we can't see our friends doesn't mean that they can't help us stay accountable for these things. So movement, work out smarter, not harder. More isn't always better. And that's what we want to think about. And we want to sort of have some tips of how to move. So we want to involve the family, make it family friendly, whether it's racing through the house to clean up, whatever it is, involve whoever you're living with right now. And then instead of looking at this big hour, what about if we took it and do 4 15-minute sessions? Maybe the first session is just a stretch. Maybe the second session is some type of strength. You know, maybe the third is some type of cardio of some sort. Just 15 minutes, trust me. It's not hard to get your heart rate up in 15 minutes. And then maybe the last is just a more of a stretching and just sort of downgrading from the day and just relaxing. Take it outside. This weather this weekend has been amazing, right? It was so nice out that yesterday I took a really long walk with my dog. So take it outside, make sure you're enjoying that time and getting out a little bit because we do know now our home is sort of everything. And then do something you enjoy. Don't run if you hate running, right? We want to make sure this is fun for us. So find something that you enjoy, that you stay active with, and do it from there. And then the last thing is create a community. Just because, you know, we're not around people doesn't mean I can't have a community still. I can still reach out to Sam or my other coworker and say, hey, I'm going to do this hour workout right now. You want to join me? Right? And then after we just say, comment, and be like, hey, what did you do? How did you feel? Those kind of things.
Hey, Morgan, we had a question come in. So let's just take a second and answer it. So what are your thoughts on Tabata workouts?
I think it's great, right? I think using Tabata, it's 20 on, 10 off, 8 rounds. Like that is an easy way, especially with not a lot of equipment, to get your heart rate up quickly, and it's 4 minutes of work. So I think Tabatas are something great. It's something I've added for our groups in those metabolic days or in just a conditioning set.
Awesome.
And then nutritional strategies, right? So what happens, right? Mindful eating. So we need to understand our emotional triggers. We have stress, fear, sadness, grief, loneliness, fatigue, anger, and frustration. And right now, especially in the time, I'm guaranteeing you all of us are feeling these. So we just need to make sure that we understand what these triggers are, and then we can grow from there. And then I can be more aware of if I'm stressed and then I try to grab a snack, be like, maybe that's an emotional trigger that I just need to do something else. So what else can we do, right? So we can manage stress through different activities instead of food. Exercise is one of them, but maybe I just need to get my mind off, listen to some music, relax, or get in touch with a friend. Just have a phone call, quick 15 minutes. It's going to take your mind off that stress, and it's just great to hear from a friend. Or I can journal and blog. And great thing about journaling and blogging too is understanding those triggers, right? I then can say, oh, I'm stressed and this is what I want to eat during that time. So then I can know and I can be self-aware during that time. Another one is just do some yoga or do some meditation. Especially right now, guys, there are so many different apps that are allowing free access. You know, I know Calm's doing it for all healthcare providers. So take advantage of those. And then be proactive, right? I talked about this earlier in just scheduling for workouts. Schedule me time every week. Whether it's right after your power hour, I need 15 minutes of me time. It's just for me. I'm going to do maybe just listen to a little bit of music or a podcast. It's for me. And then make sure you're adding in stress management strategies, part of your weekly routine. If you have questions about those, feel free to ask. Everyone's going to be different with how they manage stress. For me, it's going to work out. For other people, it might just be just to lay in bed and just relax, but find what that is for you and add that into your weekly routine. And then we want to combat stress through food and hydration. So a few things that we like to say is rise and dine. So eat breakfast within an hour of waking up. And anything is better than nothing. And this is also going to go into, now I've created this routine. Now I know that I've set myself up for success right away in the morning, and that no matter what happens, I've gotten that first good meal in. And then create an even spread. So spread meals and snacks out consistently throughout the day. We recommend 3 snacks, 3 meals. Obviously, make sure you sort of take that to you, right? I don't eat that much because I like to eat bigger meals. So find what works for you, but make sure that you're not just eating first thing in the morning and then forgetting about it till 7 p.m. at night. Make sure to just adequately eating some things throughout the day. And then stay hydrated. So we want to aim for about a half to a full ounce of water per pound of body weight. A lot of us aren't doing this, and this is also a great way to help curb that appetite, right? Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. Am I really, or am I just bored? This is a great way. I always keep a water bottle by my desk, and my goal is at least 1 container every 2 hours. And then when we also think about foods and we think about our spread, make sure that we're getting an array of colors. So we try to find the rainbow with those colors, and we're getting at least 3 different colors on our plate at a time. And so I know this has been a hot topic right now. How do I boost my immune system during everything that's going on, right? So eat a variety of protein sources. These are lean protein options. You know, you have your seafood, your chicken, your eggs. You can even go with some Greek yogurt or some tofu. All great choices to have. So make sure you're always getting a protein in during your meal. And then add some vitamin A, C, and E. So some foods that are rich in this are sweet potatoes, carrots, broccoli, oranges, strawberries. You can already see this array of colors through adding these. So if I add the array of colors, I'm going to actually get these vitamins in without even thinking about it. And then consume foods high in zinc and other minerals. Again, if we're staying close to the earth and we're staying with a variety of colors, we're going to get these in anyways. But Greek yogurt, some whole grain bread, sunflower seeds, those kind of things are really going to help boost that immune system. And then understanding our hunger cues. So this is sort of our last thing. I like this chart just because it's sort of like, hey, when am I actually full and when am I not? So just pay attention to what that is for you. Remember that it takes your brain longer to process. So it takes your brain 20 more minutes after you're done eating to actually realize that you're full. So a great way is actually to add a glass of water before you eat, and that's going to help sort of start your brain thinking. But this is just a scale of, hey, at 4, I'm slightly uncomfortable, beginning to see signs of hunger, and then at 7, you know, I'm slightly full, I'm slightly uncomfortable. So we want to look at the scale and try to use this sometimes when you're like, am I hungry, am I not? That's going to give you some information about that.
All right, guys, so we just want to take this time to answer any questions you may have of us on pretty much anything and everything regarding EXOS, the methodology, the Sports Performance Institute, working from home, nutrition, and moving. So if you guys have specific questions, let us know. We really just wanted to take a couple minutes and open it up to you to answer anything that you guys have or thoughts you have regarding those topics. Okay. Any tips, moves you can do while working from your desk? Stretches. Yeah, so absolutely when you're working from your desk, I mean, getting up, so switching your position, right? So if you're at home and you're going from maybe your dinner table or your desk, maybe go to like your countertop and stand for a little bit. So there's, you know, just moving a little bit that way, stretching, some, you know, moving your neck a little bit, moving your arms around, switching the way you're sitting, coming into like a really good posture position and straight posture. What else, Morgan?
We can do what's called like pelvic tilts, right? So where I'm going into what's called an anterior tilt. So I'm actually pulling my belt buckle forward and then posterior tilt. So that's going to get your spine moving as well. So something like that, it's just moving your butt up and down actually. And then as well, like getting some shoulder blade retractions. That's always nice because we get so tight in our chest because we're at that computer all day, shifting forward. So just retracting those shoulder blades, holding for a few seconds, and then relaxing are going to be two great ones. And then like Sam said, do some neck circles or some, you're just moving that neck around, just moving all the body parts, even your wrist, your feet, right? I want to just make sure I'm moving throughout the day, even in that seated position.
Well, thanks for coming, Debbie. We're glad that you found some of the tips and ideas helpful. Does anyone else use a top 5 or power hour? Did I start something? This is great. No.
I go top 3. Top 5 is a little too much for me. So top 3 is where I head.
Yeah. Well, Shiloh, you and Morgan are similar in that aspect. Yeah, the power hours are great. And I mean, start small with power hours. I think I started with just doing one a day and actually doing one like every other day. And then have evolved them into for sure getting one in a day, if not 2 or 3. It just really allows me that time to focus on the projects that need to get done as opposed to all the other stuff that's out there, right? You know, we all have those things that come up and are suddenly urgent, right? And need your attention immediately. But I kind of make my power hours a non-negotiable time, just like my workout. It's non-negotiable. It's a time that, hey, literally the building must be on fire for you to interrupt me right now. Because otherwise I'm not feeling like I'm achieving anything throughout my day. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, question just came in, when working from home, it feels like you have to constantly be reachable so people know you're working, right? So that goes back to like setting up your schedule and your work hours. So, and the benefit of working from home, right, is that you will have, you know, you have those, I don't know, like that time you can block off, right? So say you get up at average 5:30 in the morning and you're ready to go. It takes you half an hour to quickly get ready and you sit down because your house is quiet from like 6 to 8, right? You get a 2-hour block in, maybe a 2-hour power hour if you're really starting the day off, right? You're having a cup of coffee, getting yourself set up, and then you can take a break from say 8 to 10 or 8 to 11, right? And then kind of maybe get the kids set up, get some things done around the house, and then you're working from 11 to 4, you know, then you leave, you take a break, you go. I mean, you can split up your day however you want. And I think if you utilize your calendar that way, and you know, and your teammates know, hey, this is what's going on, this is her schedule or his schedule from home, it's super helpful. I do that with Morgan a lot, because like I said, I have a 3-month-old. And so it's, you know, important that like, hey, he naps between this time and this time. I'm going to do a power hour. I'm reachable between this time and this time because I have childcare type of things. And so those are super helpful tips, I think.
And then I think just staying right with your, like, as much as your normal schedule as possible. For me, I work from 5 a.m. till 1 or 2 p.m. Obviously, I'm not coming in at 5, but I'm saying, hey, I'm coming in at 7. I'm working till 3. I will recheck my emails at 5 just to make sure whatever's, you know, needs to get done. But just make sure you guys are setting that schedule for you. Utilize your calendar. I block off those times and say, hey, I'm not taking meetings after 3. Right? People need to understand that, and everyone's actually being more understanding than I think normal right now because everyone's dealing with childcare and all those kind of things going on. But just, you know, make sure you're still blocking that time, and then once you're stepping away from work, you are stepping away from work.
Anything else? Comments, concerns, questions? Awesome. Well, if nothing else kind of pops up, you guys are more than welcome to reach Morgan and I here at the Sports Performance Institute at any time. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and we are uploading workouts and challenges to those every day for you. So we'd love to see you guys complete any of those, and then we'll shout that out. And have you be part of our community for a little bit.
And then special thanks to Rachel and Elevate Rapid City for setting this up. I know they have several more webinars coming, so check out their Facebook for that. So we really appreciate them providing these resources during this time.
All right. Thanks, guys, so much for coming. Have a good one.